You know, it's what we would consider a functional lameness. It's not a pain lameness. So there's two. That's kind of how we break lameness down. You know, there's lameness, which is much more typical, caused by a painful inflammatory reaction. This is more of the functioning, meaning everything doesn't work right together, but it doesn't cause her pain. So the reason she's doing this weird stepping, it's just because those muscles have just shrunken down and gotten very stiff, fibrotic. But it probably doesn't bother her. Now, will she have some back pain and stiffness and soreness? Probably, and that's more so just because her legs aren't working right, and she probably doesn't always stand perfectly straight, she doesn't walk evenly. I think that would be the same whether she's ridden lightly versus turned out. I think the worst thing you could do for her is stick her in a stall for 6 months and not use her at all, because then she's going to get really stiff and worse. But as far as like light trail riding, walking, you know, having a kid sit on her back and walk around the arena, I don't think it's going to change anything about her whatsoever. You know, I think she'd be just as happy to be a pasture mate to somebody. But I wouldn't ever want her to go somewhere where she's going to be restricted. I think she's going to be better to have at least small paddock turnout, pasture turnout, keep what's left of those muscles as loose and moving as we can. And then as far as medical treatment, this is probably never going to get any better, which is not shocking, right? It hasn't gotten any better. But is it going to get worse? If y'all haven't noticed it getting worse in the time y'all have met her, then probably not. She'll probably just...
Well, but we had her before, Terry.
Yeah, and she was the same.
Right.
So a lot of these hit a point and they plateau, and that's kind of where they are, and they don't get better and they don't get worse. Some of the more subtle ones, they can still do high-level work on them. I've got dressage horses that have subtle fibrotic myopathy. They get terrible scores at the walk because they can't walk. But they can actually trot pretty well and canter pretty well. Now with her, obviously, she's not going to be a sport horse, but can she do light riding? I think so.
Okay.
As far as a potential adopter, I think it would be very beneficial for her to continue to have body work, whether she's ridden or not, because she is uneven, and she is going to always be uneven because her left is worse than her right. So chiropractic, massage, that kind of stuff, just not emergent stuff. It doesn't need to be once a month or anything crazy, but just kind of consistent, just to kind of help her work out those kinks that she's just over time going to keep developing by dint of being uneven all the time.